some highlights into 2022. Jess, I'll ask you to pull up that slide as well. This is just rounding out some of our formal presentation here. But what is on deck for MassBike coming in the new year? So as we were talking about our board development and growth, one of the hardest things that we are tackling here is who are we serving and what do we represent at MassBike? We want to make safe cycling for all across the Commonwealth. And we know flat out that cycling resources and safe cycling is not equitable. And there are hard color barriers, hard economic barriers about who is getting what. So we are engaged and committed to investing. And we've been doing this for a couple of years already, but we're going to invest double and triple fold into our equity training for our staff and board. And we're going to continue that as part of our regular process of leading with race and racism, leading with the inequities, and trying to build equality, not really equality, but the equity into all of our work. Along with that, it's going to depend on diversifying our leadership. So please pay attention for the coming weeks about how we're going to try to do a call for new board members, which is going to be on a rolling basis, pretty much ongoing. If you want to plug in with MassBike's work, we're going to ask that you attend our virtual meetups. We put them on the 4th Mondays of the month. It's a lunchtime thing. Grab your lunch, just sit down and talk. We'll usually have a presentation that's about half it, and then a talk for about the other half. It gives us an opportunity to have a two-way dialogue with our advocates that are out there. Our legislation is ongoing. We're entering our second year of this session. We have one legislative win, but we have about 5 more bills that we are pursuing. We can link to you in the chat of some of our legislative work, but know that we are not slowing down. We just have to ramp up in order to get some of these bills passed by the end of the session. We're going to keep our infrastructure tracking, which is actually going to kick itself up a notch now that we have the rescue plan funds coming from the feds and the Invest Act funds coming from the feds. There is going to be billions, and I say billions with a big B, of dollars that need to be implemented locally. So if you have a project, if you have a trail, if you have something that you are excited about, please share it with us, share it in the chat right now, share it with us on email, tell us what's going on so we can try to plug in the best that we can to make sure that these dollars and these resources are spent around there. We're going to be focusing and continuing our Vision Zero work, which includes the memorial tracking, the ghost bike creation, and the goal is to get that work off of what MassBike does and to put ourselves out of a job. But until that day, we're going to be pursuing our Vision Zero work with our coalition partners. And then we're also going to be hosting regional in-person events with local advocates. We have a couple save the dates for you. One more slide, which is just grab your Sharpies, put these on your calendar. The National Bike Summit from the League of American Bicyclists is going to take place the final weekend in March. Please attend if you can. It's worth it to be in person, but if you can only attend virtual, that's great. We can hook you up. You'll learn a wealth of wisdom and be connected to your local electeds. In April, we're going to be pushing our encouragement with 30 days of biking, and you can win a plethora of prizes. It's going to queue us up for Bike Month in May, which is just going to just explode out the gate and kick us off for the good riding season, which we're going to carry through all the way through 2022. At the end of May, we've set our date for the Charlie Proctor Memorial Ride. Charlie was a rider who was killed in Arlington, right at the intersection, which now has that new infrastructure. But we're going to be doing an annual ride for Charlie in memoriam, working with Charlie's friends and family. It's going to be out of the Mystic Lakes, but that date is set for the final weekend in May. We hope you can join us. The Golden Spike Conference is going to happen July 30th. It's going to be the celebration of the Mass Central Rail Trail work and the work that is yet to come. Props to Craig Della Penna and all the work that is happening on bit by bit, the puzzle that is being knit together. But the Golden Spike Conference is something that is not to be missed. It's an all-day affair. So put it in your calendars for July 30th. COVID willing, we're going to meet in person and talk about all the work in terms of building out our Mass Central Rail Trail. For Pete's sake, it's another memorial ride, which we inaugurated this year, which we are going to continue. This year, we ran it in October. I think we're going to look a little bit earlier, considering it's in Salem. And Salem in October is a little bit dodgy. But that's going to be for Peter Delcetti Jr., who was tragically killed in a car by a driver of a car in Haverhill in 2020 as well. And we're going to be memorializing Pete for the For Pete's Sake ride for Peter. World Day of Remembrance is going to be on the final weekend before Thanksgiving, November 20th next year. So hopefully if you have a person in mind who you want to memorialize, if you want to get in touch with the district attorneys and your local elected leaders, this is a great opportunity to remind people of the importance and the severity of what we do. And then lastly, just our virtual updates that are happening every single month. This conversation is not just once a year with our annual meeting. We are really trying to permeate the barrier between advocates and create a network of opportunity, which is going to lead us to our networking slide in a moment. So please do plug in. We have a lot on the calendar, and we're only going to be growing next year. We're going to have new staffers. The updates, yes, Jeff, thank you for that mention. Just stay tuned to MassBike. It'll be in our newsletter. It's a new Zoom link every month and a new theme every month. But if you have any topics that you want us to cover, please shoot them our way. And the goal here is to elevate issues and network so that we're sharing resources. Again, we're a small staff, we're a volunteer board. We really lean on the coalition of Massachusetts Bicycle Coalition, and this is where you can come in.